All right, boys. Time to do the Atlantic. We did our Metro predictions. We're a few games into the season now. I'm going to try not to have the events of the past week or so affect what is ultimately a preseason prediction. So we're going to go Atlantic, same idea, 8-1. This time, again, Jared, give us your bottom seed in the Atlantic Division and why.
I have Boston actually being last,
Yeah.
which I guess that is especially looking at other um, predictions. I haven't looked at many, but like the few predictions I have looked at from other people, look like ranking teams at the start of the season. That seems to be like my hot take. A lot of people have Boston making the playoffs, and even being like second or third in the division.
Whoa. No way.
I have them being last, which may be like too harsh, but I don't think their team is good at all, to be honest. I think they have one good player in each position.
Where's the offense coming from?
Yeah, right. Outside of
Score.
Pasternak,
Yeah.
I don't know who on that team is producing. Um, Casey Middlestat is your second line center,
It's not good.
and Elias Lindholm is your first line center. I can't sanction that. I can't support it. Um, and this doesn't really factor into their rankings this season, but they signed so many bad contracts the past 2 years that uh man, like they're gonna need more James Hagen's level prospects if they want to have a chance anytime soon because they are tied up in so many bad contracts with players that I don't think deserve it at all.
100%.
That's my eight.
Brutal, brutal, brutal lineup. John, do you have a consensus on 8?
I think Jared made some great points. Their lineup is so thin, it's kind of hilarious considering what they were 2 years ago, 3 years ago when they set the points record. Then they loaded up at the deadline. I think though, because they have Pasternak and I think Swayman got a full training camp, I don't think they will be last. And I actually have Buffalo as my last. I know
Ooh,
that's really an easy take. Buffalo, everyone loves to crap on them, but I think this year they really cement themselves as an inept team. Truly guaranteed injuries to big players this year. I think Power and Dahlin and Tuck all become and Thompson especially all become really frustrated with the team and start to tune out for the end of the year, and they have absolutely no goaltending to speak of whatsoever.
you think there's going to be a big trade coming out of Buffalo?
I think in the off season, Thompson gets traded.
Wow. Talk about a hot take. Talk about a hot take. Yeah,
Hockey takes. You heard it here first.
it's a bad hockey take. Why are you watching the video if you didn't expect that? Um yeah, I put Boston last, but the Buffalo one. I mean, and the start. Could you have a worse start? I mean, the injury to
No.
Norris, like no contact, just
Two goals in 3 games.
2 goals in 3 games. And this is just generational bad. Benson's out. Benson was really promising. I love Benson. But as bad as Buffalo is, I think Boston is like I know they've had a good start so far. I think they are sneaky bad. I think Boston rather is sneaky bad. I mean, Middlestat. I think we just know he's just like one of these. He's kind of like a modern day Lars Eller. I know he's had some.
A little bit.
He's got some top 6 seasons, but so did Lars Eller. I mean, he's out there at one game. You'll see one shift. You'll see a move, and you're like, okay, he's skilled. The guy really is. He's got no juice. He's got no juice. Arvidsson, I don't know. Pasternak's super underrated, I think, at this point. But like, damn, like, what do you want Geeky to score 40?
Yeah.
He scored 30 last year. You think he's? I mean, I
They're
don't know.
literally banking on that, Chris. They're literally banking on him getting better.
It's kind of a hope and change type of strategy here. And I just
And I know this doesn't play, and I mentioned this during my take. I know this doesn't play a huge role, but like signing Tanner Jeannot, 3.5 million for 5 years or something. What are you doing? What are you doing?
just what's the headspace here? Like what's the game?
Contract.
Zadorov, both Lindholm contracts.
Yeah, and you just have to wonder kind of where is the future here. Hagen's obviously awesome. I'm a big Fabian Lascelles guy, but you just look around and it's like, what can you sell? I think Sway is going to have a good season. I think we might be looking at some very good numbers and some potential Vezina talks for Swayman. But a theme in a lot of my rankings, I don't think like good goalies. I think are going to be on bad teams a lot. But we'll see how that turns out. So I agree with the Boston there. I have Buffalo in 7th. Jared, are you on consensus with that?
I also Buffalo in 7th. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything to add on Buffalo? I know John covered what do you even say?
I think it's just at this point, they have so many sick players. They've had a lot of sick players over the years. I think it's just a management thing. It's a management thing, and underratedly, I think it's a culture thing. Like you go to Buffalo to lose. They're just a losing team, and it's unfortunate, but they have so many sick players. Like it's crazy how many good players have come and gone through that organization, that are now multi Stanley Cup champions. Like it's insane. The team is the staff is just horrible. Management is horrible. I think that's the root problem. So yeah, I think they'll be bad for as long as for as long as that regime is still in place.
You think it goes all the way to the Pagulas, like all the way to ownership?
Well, I mean, maybe I mean, I guess I don't know
Yeah,
about that, but
it's hard to tell. Also,
they've never had a coach that I'm like, they've never had a coach that I've been like, okay, he's good.
what
They've had Lindy Ruff twice, right?
crazy,
Like insane.
and the guy who got ran out of New Jersey. You go.
It's because that they fired him when they still had guaranteed years of his contract. So when they rehired him, they didn't have to pay him as much because they were paying him anyway for firing him.
What a man. I'm sorry.
And
I know this is ironic coming from an Islanders guy, but like, what a poverty franchise thing to do.
So poverty.
Like, dang.
Can't sign a free agent. Can't keep a guy on the team. I mean, and the cup win thing. I mean, this is not just like there are multiple Buffalo players who won cups with Florida, but this is not just a Florida thing. We're looking at Vegas with Eichel. I mean, were there any Colorado Buffaloes? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. But like, this is not going to change, and I can see John's prediction. Thompson could get traded. Darlene could get frustrated and get traded, and easily win cups. I mean, easily.
I think somebody will get traded this season. I don't think it'll be either of those guys because their contracts are so big, but
I can see
I think guys will move.
Contract year for Tuck.
Absolutely.
Easily winning a cup.
Panthers pick up Tuck.
Very Panthers pick up.
Extremely Panthers. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't know. Well, that's where he's from. Goes back to that's Vegas of them. I just personally, I don't know what we can even add to the Buffalo conversation. Just totally devastating. It's a culture thing, but like coming from my team had really bad culture last year, and even though we're having a rough start, it seems like the culture is at least better. This has been a decade of really bad culture. It's like none of these players were even here when the playoff drought started. Then the coaches and the stat, it's just like, and Buffalo is a big sports city. I mean, you got football going on like crazy. I don't even know what to say. It's devastating. Devastating. All right, take us to number 6 now. Oh, John, wait, you have to do your 7. Which is your 7 Boston?
Nope. I have the Geyser plan, Detroit coming 7.
Okay. Bad hockey takes. Let's do it. John.
You heard it here first.
Talk to me.
So I think they have a lot of good players, but they still have so much fluff that's been signed by Yzerman over the years, taking up key spots. Larkin is finally over. He's coming out of his prime years at this point, right? And the Brincat is good, but doesn't really seem to be a mover and shaker. And I think they're really going to be relying on Raymond and Cedar to really carry the team. And they still don't really have goaltending I trust. I think Gibson is any minute away from being completely collapsed, and Talbot is not reliable. I think their defense is incredibly thin outside of their stud defender, and I think they'll get scored on in bunches. Their bottom six is thin as ice. So that's my take. Number 7.
That is crazy. I happen to have them much higher than
Interesting.
than that. Yeah. Jared, give us your 6.
My 6 is Detroit.
Oh.
My 6 is Detroit. I don't think low key, like I agree with a lot of what John said. I don't think Detroit is actually that good. Like, I'm sorry, I can't. And I've said this since they signed. I can't get behind like JT Comfer and Andrew Kopp and Mason Appleton. You know, I can't do it. I can't get behind that. Like, those are not 3 forwards that I want in my top 9. And that's not talking about like washed up Showtime in your lineup as well. I don't think DeBrincat is that good. Like, I think he's good, but I don't think he's like John said, he's not the magic man, you know. He's not a line driver. He's not an offense creator. Like, I think he's good. Like, he'll put up like 70 on like a high powered team.
He doesn't drive. He's just kind of like there.
Yeah.
He hits you with a highlight every now and then. Is he
Yeah.
really? When stuff goes down, do you want DeBrincat on the ice? No, you don't.
But
No.
okay, but every team has guys like that. I mean, we were talking Devils. Jared, you were sticking up for the Devils offense, which I think is pretty good, but I think suffers a lot of the same problems. And honestly, a third line of Comp for Cop and Appleton, I honestly like that more than the Devils' third line. I'm just saying. DeBrincat to me looks like a Meyer.
Yes,
I'm not saying they're better than
somebody like I don't know, pick one of those 3 guys. That's your 4th best forward.
I don't agree at all.
And your 3rd best forward is DeBrincat after Larkin and Raymond.
Larkin, Raymond, DeBrincat, Kane, Casper. Don't tell me Casper's not there.
Casper's okay.
It's
okay.
pretty okay.
Casper is a ghost, isn't he?
He is not a ghost. He is not a ghost. He shows up. He's actually clutch and he's big time.
I think he's going to top out as like a 45, 50-point guy. I don't think he's got the juice. He doesn't have the juice.
He's already a 45, 50 guy as a brand new to the league. And also, we're
exactly. So he's topped out.
Yeah,
you guys are all right. Listen, I'm gonna get to the Red Wings a little later. Okay, on my list. But you guys are not remembering.
That's when you can address the defense
and
the goaltending.
Yeah, I will. But Michael Branstad Newgard is actually taking that third line right wing spot. And this kid, he hustles. He knows how to make quick plays. He's fast. He's kind of got some Marco Casper in him. You know,
he loves the game, loves the sport. He's from a great family.
He loves
all the things that you need to be a good hockey player.
No, yeah, I mean, listen, they don't have any more high end guys coming, but they have been drafting a lot of these sort of mid guys who with upside. I like it. Casper, Newgard, Daniel.
To them about ASP, they defend him with their lives on Twitter.
We'll get to him on the defense side. Okay,
ASP's pretty good.
John, number 6.
Well, for my number 6 is Boston. I actually think Boston's going to have a pretty good year relative to their roster, just because Costa he'll be locked in, and a full training camp for Swayman, no contract holdout. that will automatically add like 14 wins to their point totals, just due to him being dialed in fully, not having any contract uncertainty. I think Costa and Swayman have a great years. The rest of their team is really middling, but this is going to be a case study of how two elite players, the high end, are going to carry a team, prevent them from getting a very high pick. So it's my Boston take, number 6.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think that's totally valid, and that's probably where they will end up. Again, I think maybe I guess our placement, Chris, of Boston might be like a little steaming, but
maybe. I mean, they did finish last year. Boston does have winning culture though, for whatever that's
very
worth.
true.
And I'm pretty sure McAvoy and Lindholm were both out for a lot of last seasons.
Mm.
I could definitely see that going up. I just feel like most teams have elite players. So, I think like Calgary's like the only team without an elite forward. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You don't like Huberdeau?
I like him. Not as much as DeBrincat and Marco Casper.
Get to Huberto.
Yeah, okay. Moving along here. My number 6.
Yeah.
Oh. I have Montreal in 6th. I will come clean as a longtime Montreal hater. I mean, I'm coming from the Lundqvist versus Price days. I'm coming from the, what's his name, Desharnais, and all these mid guys. Honestly, Mechanic, all these guys, right?
Gallagher.
Yeah. Honestly, the Rangers and Canadians of the past were both very similar. Elite goalies, terrible offense, like no forwards. Now things are very different. Montreal is awesome. And what they're doing with these contracts, by the way, is crazy. No one over 9 million. I mean, totally ridiculous. Line A. What is Line A? Is like their second highest or highest paid player? It's just not.
I think so, yeah.
It's just absolutely insane. And like, I know it wasn't working out on the island, but Dobson seems like he's working out there, and I'm just like so in awe of the young core. And I just ran out of room. Honestly, I really like Montreal. I have no reason to believe they won't do well. Bolduc is awesome. Demidov's going to hit his stride probably in the middle of the year. Maybe around the Olympic break when they come back from Olympic break. I think he's going to go like point plus per game, kind of like how Michkov did last year. I think they're awesome, but I just think it's just they're young. Lane Hudson's good at scoring, but he might get pushed around a little bit. The net front, all these like old head hockey takes, I think are kind of going to apply to them. Caulfield's great. Suzuki, I think, is going to be a 2-star elite player in our minds by the end of this year. I think he came.
I think he already is.
Yeah, he is for me. He is for me. I think it's just that's where he's at, and he's so sick.
He's so good.
I'm kind of just like all over them, but I have one kind of bold take in this division, so it just pushed Montreal down and out of the playoffs. But I'm certain that next year, Demidov being more consistent, Slavkovsky, I think, we'll see what they have there. Then I think is going to be their year. I just think it's just not their year this time. That's okay. So that's my number 6.
Okay, you want me to pick it up with 5?
Yeah, pick it up with 5.
Yeah, so Montreal is my 5, and a lot of the same reasons. They're not in the playoffs because I gave the first wild card to Washington. We'll see who I gave the second wild card to, but it's not Montreal. They say a lot of same reasons. I honestly have no really good reason to say that they're not going to make the playoffs. They very well could, and so far in the year they look really good. But yeah, this team is sick, unfortunately. Yeah, I really am just riding with like they're still young, so they'll probably miss. But honestly, starting next year, I think they could be probably not a contender because it's still like they still need structure, but like low key starting next year, I think they're going to be like a perennial playoff team. To be honest, like they're so good, so many good contracts. Like
Oh,
we'll see what happens with. Does Demidov not have a contract yet?
still
Like
ELC
DLC.
he's the only guy. So like yeah,
and Bolduc.
Suzuki's and Bolduc, Suzuki's sub 8, Caulfield sub 8. I think Slavkovsky sub 8, even though he should be sub 7. Um, the Hudson contract. I don't like Slavkovsky. I don't think he's that good, to be honest. Like not first overall caliber. I actually just think he's like a middling forward, to be honest.
Second liner.
But
I'm taking Lafreniere.
second good second liner. Sure. All right. Yeah, that's all I got. I love Montreal Canadian players. Got to be clear about that. But yeah, I have no real good reason to not have them in the playoffs. So if they make it, that's fine. I'll be happily proven wrong. But that's why I have it 5.
Yeah, Atlantic is such a squeeze.
Is Ottawa. I have Ottawa at 5.
Do you have them missing, John?
Missing the playoffs.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ottawa's good. You know, there's a lot of like good teams in the Atlantic, but there's just better teams. They're gonna have a good
Yeah.
year. They're gonna have some cool moments. I think usually gets crapped on a little bit too much for being a floater and a diver. I think he's actually really dynamic and he's a really good player. And I really want to see him on a Team Germany with Leon Draisaitl. I think that could rock. Got some great defense, guys. Sanderson rocks. I think Jensen was actually a really good fit for them, even though he's on the older side in terms of what they needed. And they got Omar, who's always solid in goal. He usually never really has a bad streak. I like them, but their
Except in the
depth,
playoffs.
I think, is not that great, and they're gonna miss the playoffs. They're having a good year. They're gonna be they're standings fodder. Let's be real.
Yeah,
That's a great way to describe them, I think.
standings fodder is a good way to go, dear.
They're just going to be the odd team out every year, I think. Whether they make the playoffs or not, to be honest. Like, I think they'll make the playoffs and it's just like, the Senators aren't going to do anything. They'll be the first round exit.
Yeah, I actually think that's not just this year. I think that's their team. I think the Ottawa has built that team. And I'm going to go ahead. Ottawa is my 5th, and I have them missing the playoffs. In retrospect, based on this conversation, I probably could be convinced to put Montreal above Ottawa. But that's just because I'm more excited about what Montreal could be. Ottawa is pretty imposing. Yeah. They're physical. They're fast. They have game breakers. Stützle, I agree. I think he's so dope. I think he's kind of like underappreciated. And Sanderson is so sick. I hate to see it. I hate to see Ottawa fans winning after they won the cup just because he was good in college. That's how it seemed. I mean, Ottawa, that's just Canadian fan bases, but he is genuinely an elite number 1 defenseman. And the fact that they have Chabot there and whatnot, or Shabbat. How do you even say his name anymore? I don't know.
I think it's Shabbat.
It's Shabbat. John had me thinking it was Chabot. We gotta have to take a second. We have to appreciate
French sounding name, but it's actually the reverse.
Says the creator of Steven Stockmose and Mark Shelfie and Dustin
Byflugen.
Yeah. My thing with Ottawa, that's great. Brady Tkachuk is like a really good first line winger. Guy, he's just not an elite player. He had the 80-point year. So does everybody, honestly. Like it just doesn't mean a lot to me. He only had like 50 something last year. I don't even know how many games he missed. Obviously, annoying player. I would certainly like him on my team. He scores, but he's not really a play driver, not really a barn burner, net front guy, but he doesn't have that game-breaking playmaking ability that Matthew has. He's just kind of like, he's pretty good and he's physical, but I don't believe he's elite. So this like Stützle Brady thing where they're like the 1-2 punch on offense, I just don't buy that. Like Stützle, who is he riding with? Fabian Zetterlund, who dropped off really hard after leaving the Sharks. Like, I liked him on the Sharks. Guy has not been productive. Batherson's pretty good. Cousins is up and down. Perron is whatever. Greg is whatever. Pinto's actually pretty good. And Giroux is declining.
Pinto's very good.
Yeah, Pinto's pretty good. So, okay. So Pinto's pretty good. Who?
Gambler. Pinto.
Oh, Pinto the Gambler. Yeah.
He did get suspended, didn't he?
Which, to be clear, Ottawa has been one of the top, I would say, 4 Mickey Mouse franchises in the past like 7-8 years. So the fact that they're in this conversation, like, good for them. I just think their prospect pool dried up. They're going to keep spending first to try to get over the hump, and I think they're already out of juice. Allmark is not a playoff performer, and their defense is really good, but teams are good. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Teams are good, and you're going to miss the playoffs because your offense isn't that deep. It's just not. And
also, the guys you mentioned, like, that could play with Stützle, don't play with him. Batherson is with Cousins on the second line. Giroux's on the third line with Pinto. Perron's on the second line. Like, his guy was Tkachuk. He plays with Zetterlund and Amadio, because I guess Kachuk's hurt right now. But
right. What are you expecting?
It's like what is he gonna do?
Like, Hughes has
who's he gonna pass to? Who's gonna pass to him?
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah,
Anderson, I guess.
And you know what? You need 3. You need a number 1 D-man. You need a center, and you need a winger. You need Kucherov and Point and Hedman. You need Makar, Rantanen, and McKinnon. You need Barkov, Reinhart, and Forsling. Yeah, that's the formula. So, Jared, hit us with your number 5.
Everybody went through their 5?
No, I think I'm just starting.
I did my 5. My 5 was Montreal.
Oh, really? Oh, we finished our 5. All right, so take us to 4. Sorry.
So my 4 is Ottawa, and okay. I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. I do have them making the second wild card. I am just kind of like I like Ottawa. I like their team. I like a lot of their players. Obviously, the organization is extremely Disney, but I just don't see them. I don't see them missing again. I don't see them like making the playoffs and then just going back to being, back to missing the playoffs. But I think it's going to be more of the same, depending on who they play. I just think they're going to be. I guess if they're the second wild card, I would have them playing Carolina, which they would get stomped in that matchup. They would get stomped against Carolina. They would get stomped against Tampa Bay or Toronto. Honestly, they'd get stomped against, I think, Washington. I don't see any of the teams in the East that at least I have making the playoffs losing to Ottawa. I don't see a single one of them, even the Rangers. Like, I don't see them losing.
That's bad.
That's bad. That's real bad. So I think they'll make the playoffs. With the Canadians hot on their heels, but I think they'll make it and they'll just lose probably in a similar fashion that they did last year.
John, number 4?
I got Montreal as my number 4.
Wow.
1 in the East. I think they have crazy energy right now, and I love that the majority of their top young guys aren't French. They don't really care about this crazy, like, French expectation to be like, Desharnais, Volcanic, and all these guys who love being French out there. And the head coach has to speak French and all that. St. Louis, but all the guys, they don't care, right? Suzuki's Canadian, but he's not French. Demidov doesn't even speak English. Hudson's an American boy. You got all these young guys with swagger from all different places, and they're just out playing fun hockey, right? They're letting up a lot of goals. Montembeault might be the most overrated player in the game right now.
Facts.
He should not be on Team Canada.
Yeah.
Overrated like crazy.
So real.
Defense is not that great. They have no defensive structure, but they just got that swag. They're like the 08 Capitals right now. Right before they went into the President's Trophy.
Okay.
combination, but they have a ton of cool young guys. So I have them make wild card one just based on that fire, that energy, and that ability to just keep coming at their opponent.
I don't I don't know if the Caps ever had like a ton of cool young guys, but I see the vision. Underrated point about Montembeau. That's probably why it's smart that I had them at 6. But I see the vision. And I love the French thing. Every time we watch the draft and they go up there and they're in like Dallas and they announce their pick in French,
Yeah.
it's like, who are you talking to? Like, oh my god, shut up.
None of their guys. Also, I love. Yeah, none of their guys are like French Canadian.
Yeah,
Like two of them are actually Canadian, right? Or one, Suzuki, is Canadian.
Anyone important? I think Suzuki's the only important
is
Canadian on the team.
Dobson or Matheson or any of the defense?
Dobson is Canadian, but like Matheson is not that big of a. Dobson's Canadian,
Right.
but like Caulfield and
They overrate Montembeau because he's French, but he's the goal.
Montembeau. Yeah, and just while we're
Very
at the
rich.
Canadians, because they're not going to come up again, I loved and I like Lane Hudson. I just loved last year with like every fan base hating on him with like the fakes and stuff to like not get a point. Like they were posting all these clips and he was just like all the like all the gifs of like the birds flapping around. Just like so funny, and like the fact that he didn't get a goal for so long, like I really like him. I just thought that was so funny, and I love the Canadian fan bases ripping each other apart. They all deserve it. So I'm just so happy to see that.
Especially the Sanderson versus Hudson beef that Ottawa fans,
Oh,
Montreal fans have. They go crazy back and forth on that right now.
oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
I also love all these Canadian teams that have like these top tier American defensemen. It's so funny with Hughes and Hudson and Sanderson in Ottawa. Like,
Yeah.
I guess that's about it. But like, it's just funny that they all have them.
Yeah.
All these like American players that are the kings of these Canadian teams.
And I love that like Tkachuk is the captain of Ottawa.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good.
Matthews, Toronto.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quinn Hughes is the captain.
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, I love that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Montreal was like the next Canadian team to win a cup if the Oilers don't do it. But
Yeah.
moving on, what is it? My 4th?
Yeah.
All right. Get your wings ready because we're going to fly and paint the sky red. Here's my pitch on Detroit. I've been with you guys this whole time that the Yzer plan is total ass, has not been worked. What were you doing with Jake Wallman? What were you doing with Tarasenko? What were you doing signing Hamonic? Oh my gosh. Like, what are you doing overall? Hall, whatever his name is. The only Hull I know is Brett Hull. So just poor decision after poor decision. However, I think he fell ass backwards into a playoff spot. I'm not going to lie. Listen, you look around the league, we're talking about Ottawa. We're talking about, the Devils are really good, but I criticize their offense. You're looking at, teams where it's like, even Toronto, it's like, he's playing on your first line type of questions you're asking. Listen,
Yeah.
they only have 2 legitimate elite forwards in Larkin and Raymond. And they're 1 stars each. Okay. So I admit that their fastball is not blazing, but DeBrincat is a good support player. Kane is not what he was, but he's better than Giroux. I'll tell you that.
New York Ranger, Patrick Kane.
Rangers legend, Patrick Kane.
Rangers legend, Patrick Kane.
Excuse me.
Going in the rafters.
Marco Casper is only getting better, and he's already productive. He's already good two-way. He's already fast. He's already got impact on the ice. Michael Brandt-Newgard is in that same variety. I mean, they have down the lineup, they have punch with scoring touch and speed, and they're going to wear you down, and they're going to get underestimated. Like Appleton's nothing special, but in your bottom 6, he's going to be kind of cool. This is not to mention Nate Danielson, who I have nothing to say about, but he got drafted pretty high. And they got a big fourth line. And Raymond's like just seems to get goals. I don't know. He's like 40 now. Listen, I think Gibson is it. I think I back in. I've been against the Yzer plan, but I'm back in. I think that they're coming up. Gibson, he's gonna turn it around. I know he had a bad first game. Their defense is not very good. Okay. Cider isn't even really an elite number one if we like really think about it. Sherratt isn't good, but Edvinson has been awesome since last year. No one's been talking about it, but not me. I see. Edvinson is really good. And ASP, I mean, we were talking about a top 5 defense prospect in a defense prospect crop that includes Matthew Schaefer, Zane Parekh, Zeev Buim, Sam Dickinson. Yeah, like after a few more guys, you got Cole Hudson. And ASP is right there. I mean, top 5. You know what I'm saying? And this guy is gonna settle in, and he's gonna go crazy. He loves the game. He works hard. And in the great words of Brad Lambert, paraphrasing, of course, if he learns how to play without the puck, he'll be good with the puck.
Right.
Or
you learn how to skate, you can have the puck all you want.
All you want. Yep. So they're not good.
Brad Lambert's dad, I guess, right?
I guess Brad Lambert quoted his dad. Yeah.
I remember he'd make me skate circles around, and I wouldn't like it. I just go like, why can't I play with the puck? And he'd just say, you do this now, and when you get older, you'll be able to have the puck as much as you want.
And it's pretty much been true, hasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's been great.
Well, poorly done interview, but a great interview. I just think this team is gonna eke it out. You know, Ottawa and Montreal, they're more exciting, they're more flashy, but Detroit, I think they're gonna get more wins. I think they're gonna get more overtime losses, and I think that their goalie is gonna steal more games, and that's the long and short of it. They're my number 4 playoffs, out in the first round.
Are they your first or second wild card?
Second handedly. Second. They're gonna win a scramble for the last wild card amidst a bunch of teams, whereas I think Columbus will actually kind of be there. Right? That's how it. Oh wait, no, I have the Devils. The Devils. I think the Devils will be very clear. I got to get my own facts straight. Okay, we're now in the top 3 of the Atlantic Division. We all have the same teams in our top 3, so we can kind of like move quickly and just have like an open talk about these 3. Jer, hit us with your third in the Atlantic.
Since we all know we all have the same teams, do you want me to just rattle them off? Then we can all do that and just kind of discuss openly about all 3 teams.
3 through 1, and let's all talk about it.
Okay, so I have from 3 to 1. I have the Panthers in the 3rd spot. I have Toronto in number 2, and Tampa Bay winning the division.
John?
I have Florida number 3, Tampa number 2, and Toronto at number 1.
Okay, I have Florida number 3, Toronto number 2, and Tampa number 1. So, John, you just flipped 1 and 2. Okay, so we all agree Florida in 3rd. Why is Florida in 3rd? Someone take the floor. John, you tell me why you have Florida 3rd.
So, they would have won the division if they weren't extremely handicapped without Barkov and Matt, Big Matthew. So I think they still have an insane system. They still have an insane defensive group. Somehow is back to being a top goaltender in the league, and their coach is cracked out. So I think even on system play, lost Forsling, they would still be in this spot. So I expect them to be number 3 in the division. I don't think they go for the 3-peat. I actually think if they can't come back healthy soon, they get knocked out first round. But I think they make a really good effort.
Sure.
All right, I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of the same reasons that John had. Losing two of your best players is one thing, but losing arguably your two best players is really bad. Like Barkov gone the entire season. I don't think I could be wrong. I don't think Kachuk's gone the entire year, but it's like
December he comes back.
nearly half the season without Matthew. And then I think Kulikov went down recently. I don't think that's long term, but yeah, so extremely handicapped. A lot of their good players get hurt. It's funny, they're like almost $8 million over the cap because of that. But yeah, no, I think their structure and their system is just so good that it's going to carry them to like a pretty safe playoff spot. And yeah, I mean, for all we know, if they just make the playoffs and get all their guys back, I think they could easily go on a run. And I don't know that they'll three-peat, but I think that like you can't ever count the Panthers out. Like they'd have to lose, and like the trade deadline, they could pick up somebody else. And Florida has just made a habit of picking up a guy who we thought was washed, and they become like their prime version. Like Seth Jones was insane last year in the playoffs after we thought he was trash on Chicago. I mean, obviously Chicago's a bad team, but like he was insane in the playoffs. Dmitry Kulikov was a washed up player from Buffalo. Insane. Forsling was like Miko Mikkola.
Yeah.
Rangers third pair guy on the Rangers.
Yep.
He's like a solid defensive. Like I think Florida can pick up almost anybody, and they'll just become the best versions of themselves. So I think they'll be fine. But yeah, if they go an extremely extended period of time without, again, their two best players, in my opinion, I don't see them going very far in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, logic defying team.
Yeah.
If only the Rangers had the same efficacy when picking up old stars at the trade deadline. Yeah, I don't have a lot to add. I just say that like I think that they have regular season juice, just because Mackie Samoskevich is going to get top 6 minutes, and he's pretty hot. He had some really nice goal totals towards the back end of the season, getting power play time last year. And Anton Lundell is probably getting first line center minutes right now, and he hasn't had the chance to show what I think is legitimate star potential outside of the playoffs where him and Luosterainen were just ridiculous with Marchand. So I think honestly they might not even really take that much of a downtick in terms of regular season performance, and their system is gross. Only thing I'll just say, my bad hockey take of the episode on the Panthers. I get it. He's got the 2 Vezinas and the 2 cups. So, like, he's probably a Hall of Famer. Also, you can do nothing and get into the Hall of Fame these days. Bobrovsky is, like, not one of the best goaltenders of our current time. Back 8 years ago or whatever, he definitely was probably the best for a little while. Since then, he has been by no means a top 5 goaltender. He's had good moments. He's really good in certain areas of the game. He's clutch, obviously. He's pretty clutch, but just not this remarkably special elite goaltender that we should be listing alongside at least 3 other Russian names, and the American guys, and some of these other starting goaltenders who have legitimate game dominating ability. Bob has like the easiest job in the world. He plays in behind the Panthers system, which not only has great defense, but their forwards are always on the right side of the puck. Barkov, I literally never see Barkov not in between the puck and his own net. I literally never see that. It just doesn't happen. Bob's got the easiest job in the world. He makes some good saves, but like so does Vitek Vanacek. I don't buy this whole like Bob has cemented himself. I think he's like, he was a good goalie for a long time, and he was elite 10 years ago. But that's my take. Like, I'm just so sick of it. People were back when they first won their first one, they were talking about him for the Conn Smythe. I was like, this is just ridiculous.
Well, he probably would have won it if that series didn't go to 7 games.
Yeah. And
Edmonton scored like 2 goals in the first 3 games.
Right. Which happened to not really be due to
Because of
Bobrovsky. Yeah.
yeah.
I would have given it to Barkov if not McDavid, but McDavid was the right choice.
Yeah.
Let's talk Toronto here. John, you have Toronto winning. Jared and I have Toronto in second place. Tell me why Toronto should be first in the Atlantic.
The reason why they have such a great regular season is because even though they're technically worse on paper without Marner, I feel like this pressure that's been building on that team in this like capsule over the past few years lets a little bit of PSI out, right? It goes down a little bit. Whipping boy, Marner and his dad, Toronto guy, playoff failure, even though he's a point per game. Scrutiny level goes down a little bit because he's not there anymore. You could technically say there'll be other whipping boys offered up on the post. But to be honest with you, there's less people people to hate on that team by media and fans. I think they'll actually play a more confident and mature game with that in the back, taken off their minds, if you will. So I have them number one over Tampa.
Totally fair. They also have significantly by percentage wetter hair in the playoffs, so I think that'll get fans a little more excited.
Nice rocks, dude. He's gonna.
Nyes is crazy. Nyes is better than Tavares at this point, I would say, in their careers. Matthews is having a slow start. That's going to change. The right wing on that first line, it was like Michelli, Domi. Now they have actually Easton Cowan up there, and he looks really good. Actually, I know it's like, man, I'm with you, but he actually looked really good, and he picked up an assist the other day. I just think there's a lot of gaps in that top six, like McMahon, Tavares, Nylander. They're still juggling Nick Robertson and Waz, a really good third liner. Like they have a decent mix of guys. It's just finding the right fit. Honestly, their defense and goaltending, I'm like not even thinking twice about. I love their defense and I love their goaltending. It's just the offense. I'm like, how are they going to mix and match it? And I think I just think they're going to lose some games that they otherwise could win. If you look at their forward group, I'm really big on forward depth this year. If you haven't noticed, they're not really that deep on forward, and they only got they have some legitimate game breakers. So we'll say that, but they really got two elite guys up there, and that's the same number as Detroit has, and they're better.
I would say Nyes is much closer to elite. He might. I don't know if I'm ready to say he's elite, but he's definitely closer to elite than like any of the guys after like Larkin on Detroit, dude. Like he's way closer. May even be there already.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe not drive his own line elite, but
I don't think he's there yet.
One star.
Elite.
He hasn't even had a
star
per game season, guys. Nyes is awesome, and I like him. But y'all are underrating Marco Casper, and time will tell.
I think I'm appropriately rating Marco Casper.
I just think you got to watch Detroit hockey.
Casper.
Listen, fair points. I just think Toronto's a little messy, honestly.
I think so too.
Yeah. Is that?
I think their defense, though, Chris. Their defense is awesome. Not as big of a fan of the goaltending as you seem to be. Like
Stolars, bro. He's
Stolars and Primo. I don't know.
Well, Joe Wall is hurt. He's really their backup.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, even so, I don't know. I'm not a big believer in that. Like, if you can make the big saves, that's all they really pay the big bucks for you to do. Their defense, though, I think if it weren't for Jacob Slavin, I think we would recognize Chris Tanev as perhaps the best defensive defenseman in the league. The man is insane.
Yep.
Him and the guy on Dallas, S.O. Lindell, I believe.
Yeah.
So good. So good defensively. which just speaks to how insane Slavin is. But Tanev, I think, gets so underrated. I think he's crazy.
Unreal. And Carlo's not a bad defensive defenseman on that team.
Yeah,
lower in the lineup. I think they're
if Toronto had like a superstar number one defenseman, I'd be a believer in Toronto, like going all the way. But Riley's just not it for me. He's good, but he's not. He's not that guy.
He's not that guy. He's more of a John Carlson type of guy, offensive guy. Not even.
John Carlson won a cup, though. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Listen,
He had the formula. Ovechkin from Carlson. Formula.
That formula didn't apply back then.
Literally did apply.
There are exceptions.
Pittsburgh had the formula. The Kings had the formula. Boston had the formula.
Chara? All right,
you can still leave that.
I have Tampa Bay at 1 because I don't want to talk about Carlson anymore, and I just think they got the most elite forward group in maybe the whole league, and their defense is shoddy. It is close. It is very close, but I just, I wish they had a little more on D. But Vasilevsky looks like he's returning to form, with some blemishes, but he's kind of coming back alive, and I just really like their offense. I think their offense is super deep. I think their top end, they got barring a McDavid Draisaitl thing, they probably got the best first line in hockey, unless you look at Colorado. And they're super deep, and they're just going to score a lot. And I know they're starting the season kind of poorly, but they'll be fine. I don't think they're going to go very far in the playoffs ultimately, just because of that defense, unless they add something. But because they're just so slow there, they're just getting pushed back. But that's my quick Tampa take.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't really have much to say about Tampa. They're really slow defensively. I think Vasilevsky is starting to show a little age. I want to give McDonough a shout out because even though he's slow as rocks now, McDonough is just so good with his stick and defensively, positionally, when pinned down, and he just still eats up shots. So he's just really not great in transition. You can burn him there, but I think he's an underrated guy and definitely still, a valuable defenseman. If you surrounded him with speed, I think the fact that Tampa has no speed on the back end, he gets exposed a little bit more. But shout out McDonough.
Facts. Jer, any words on
Yeah,
Tampa?
I mean, they just have they have an insane forward group. Like probably the best top 6. I think when you extend it to top 9, the 2 teams in the West get introduced, but their top 6 is just crazy. Their top line is insane. It's like Kucherov, Point, Hagel. Oh my goodness, what do you do?
That's what plays out there.
Yeah, Gensel. Daily Faceoff has Gensel on the second line, so I don't know. They're probably interchangeable though, but
yeah.
Even so, like fine, replace Hagel with Gensel, they get better, and then you have Sorelli, Hagel, and like I think somebody else.
Well,
Strand is on the third line or fourth line.
Oh, weird.
So I don't know who they have on the second line. Bjorkstrand's on the third line, but Gage Gonclaves, Calves.
Oh, I think he's got like 3 assists already. So I don't.
Well,
classic.
They also have a geeky brother who is kind of a decent young kid.
The Geekies are a wild card.
Yeah, if he's
Yanni Gourde back.
Tampa, like a really high draft pick. Utah or Arizona.
I know they picked up JJ Moser from Sergachev and Geeky. Yeah, I think that was the trade, right? Geeky and Moser.
Yeah,
I want to see more from Moser, but honestly, Tampa, they're fun to watch but boring to talk about. So
yeah.
All right,
it's the same thing.
I'm gonna go first. 8 2-1. I got Boston in the 8th place, Buffalo in the 7th place, Montreal at 6, Ottawa at 5, Detroit at 4. Let's see. Florida at 3, Toronto at 2, Tampa at 1. John.
Yeah, I have Buffalo 8, Detroit 7, Boston 6, 5, Montreal 4, first wild card, Florida 3, Tampa 2, Toronto number 1.
My rankings are as follows. I have Boston in last place, then Buffalo, then Detroit, then Montreal, Ottawa in the second wild card in 4th place, Panthers, Maple Leafs, Lightning.
Beautiful.